What's going on? This is Kareem and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a quick rundown video review of the new Traktor Kontrol D2 professional DJ controller. So what we have here is one of the latest and greatest DJ controllers from Native Instruments, and this is one of the controllers that can best control the new stems or remix decks format that Native Instruments has developed. So if this thing looks familiar to you guys, it really should, because a few months ago we reviewed the Traktor Kontrol S8, which I have right here, which is a huge behemoth of a controller, and as you can see, it's essentially the deck section of the Traktor Kontrol S8. And the reason why one would want just a deck section of a Traktor Kontrol S8 is so that way you can use your own familiar mixers, or you can also fit it in your DJ booth, because as you've seen, the massive footprint of the S8 might not always fit in the DJ booth, but something that's small and sleek like the D2 can probably fit in your DJ booth alongside of another DJ mixer. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you everything that the D2 can do, and today we have it paired with another D2, because when you're using a D2, you'll learn and you'll see here that it's best to use them in pairs, like as if you're using decks. So this is like a stems or remix style deck, so of course it would be natural and it would be better for you to have two of these alongside of the mixer. And for us today, the mixer of choice is the trusty Traktor Kontrol Z1. I haven't seen too many people use this setup before with the demo, so that is what we'll use here. It's less than 199 bucks. You can find them now, and they do control your two channels that you need. You have your faders, your filters, and everything you need. We also reviewed this guy as well a couple years ago, but the focus here is the D2, and you guys are going to see everything that we have that makes the D2 a great contender and a great choice for any DJ who really wants to use that new remix deck or stems decks file format. So first up, we're just going to take a look at the build quality and how the D2 is made. And as you can see, it looks like Traktor's or Native Instruments other controllers and other gear, where it has the metal face top, which is really durable, really nice. It also has the same screen that's taken from the Machine or the Traktor Kontrol S8. So you have your screen right on board here, and you also have your RGB backlit pads, and you have your faders that will control the rest of the functions in the stems. That way you can control your volume and everything like that. And you also have touch sensitive control knobs, meaning when you touch these knobs, other things will happen on the screen to give you an indicator and views in Traktor that you need to know when you're manipulating the controls of these knobs. Also, you have here on the bottom, these are extender feet. That way you can make them the height of the mixer that you're going to use this with, or you can also use just the rear feet, so that way it's like on a slant to you towards the user. All the way in the back, we have a USB hub. As you can see on here, you have two USB ports, so that way you can plug in multiple D2s or other controllers and just share a single USB port going back to your computer. You also have the power cable adapter port, and then you also have a on-off toggle switch as well. This also comes with a cable that allows you to split these, so that way you can use one power outlet in order to use two D2s. So that way you only have one USB cable and one power outlet being used at a time when you are using two D2s. So again, you can see here that they do want you to kind of use these in pairs. So now let's take a quick deep dive and see what we get when we use the actual D2. Alright folks, so here we have them. The D2 on the left side, and of course another D2 on the right hand side. Again, they work great in pairs because you want to see what you're doing on each individual stem deck that you're going to be using these with. And we'll show you in a second when we get to the demo portion. But for right now, we'll just do a quick rundown. At the top of the screen, you'll see we have the 4 knobs and buttons that is used to control your different effects that you have within Traktor. As soon as you touch these knobs, when you're in an actual song or track, you'll see that the top of the screen kind of changes, so you can see the parameters of those knobs, and you can also see at a glance which type of effect you have on. You can also hit the FX select button and a screen will pop up, so that way you can actually select the different effect that you actually want to use at the time. And over here in the upper right hand corner, you have the A, B, C, D deck select. So when you press the deck button down here with one hand, you can then select what deck you're actually viewing here. C, D, and A and B, of course. You also have the gorgeous screen here, high resolution screen, which you can use to see all of your stems when you're actually in a remix deck or stem deck position as we are now. You can easily browse through your music with the big oversized browse knob. You press browse and then you go to the different track that you want. As you see, while we're going through on one side of the D2, the other D2 is actually following through with us. So you don't have like a separate navigation function for each individual D2, but you're sharing the same navigation at the same time. So we'll go here, select a track. Next up, you have your different options here at the top. It's a little gear, so that way you can select and change the different colors and the different hues of the screen. You also have a button that will change or show you the BPM. You can use the big browse knob in order to change your BPM. And you also have another button that shows you the key. Also lets you change the key of the song by using the browse button again. You now have another button over here at the top that allows you to see at a glance the other deck that you may have enacted. So that way you can see the waveform at the same time. You also have plus and minus buttons, so that way you can go closer or farther away into the actual waveforms depending on how much detail you want to see. And the buttons at the bottom will allow you to cycle through either changing these buttons here for effects send or for filter. So as you can see, these knobs here at the bottom correspond to the different filter or effect you have selected with these two arrow buttons at the bottom. You also have these touch sensitive knobs which change parameters as you touch them, and you also have the on off buttons below them, so you can turn on and off the filters or the effects by just pressing the button. Next up, you have your faders here, and your faders are used to control your 4 different deck sections within the stem, so you can change the volume parameter of each one of your different stems. Next up, you have a knob here that allows you to change the size of your loops, and you can start a loop really easily by just pressing the knob, and you know when there is a loop enacted because there will be an LED ring that rotates around the loop knob. Next up, you have your performance pad section. You have your hot cue, loop, freeze, remix deck. We'll do a quick demo of those once we get the track started. And you also have your touch strip here, which will allow you to either slow down the track or speed up the track, and then you can also use this as well to jump through your track to a specific point. You also have flux mode, which is kind of like slip mode, so that way you can enact any type of changes to a track at a time, and then it will act as if nothing actually happened to the track because you'll still have your flux mode pressed. We'll also demo that as well. You have your transport functions at the bottom, your shift button, your sync, cue, play, pause, and then the deck button that allows you to change which deck you're currently residing in.
Treats me well.
In conclusion, the Traktor Kontrol D2 is an excellent way, or one of the only ways, to actually use the new stems file format in a nice, intuitive way, because you have these beautiful screens that are also found on the Traktor Kontrol S8 and the newly announced Traktor Kontrol S5. And the screens is actually the only way that you can see all four of the stems on screen at the same time. Actually, on the software, you only get to see the main file format streaming the whole time when you're actually playing the files back. So the only way to really see and take full control of the stems file format is to use an S8 or a D2 or the newly announced S5 that we'll have a review of shortly. So again, you have this nice build quality with the metal face top. You know, Native Instruments has pretty high quality gear. It's not just going to blank out or fade or crack or do any of that crazy stuff on you when you keep it in transit. You should probably use a deck saver or another bag to when you're holding it and carrying it in transport. But again, you have a good build quality here. You have your performance pads with the different performance modes: hot, Q, loop, freeze, remix. These are RGB pressure sensitive pads and they work really nicely. You also have these high-res screens here, so that way you can see all of the functions and all of the main core that you need to DJ right here on the screen instead of always looking at your laptop. They also have the best, once again, best in class remix deck, stem deck operation because of these screens, because of the faders, and because of the touch sensitive knobs that allow you to change things like your filters and your effects parameters. On the downside, you do kind of have to buy two of these if you really want to DJ this way, so that way you have full view of your two decks that you're mixing at the same time. So that's pretty crucial to me. So you do want to buy these in pairs. And the other downside is that it's only going to work for people who are really interested in using that stems decks functionality. If you're a DJ who doesn't really use stems decks that much, and you may want to add like turntables or something else with this because you have touch strips here. So it's an acquired type of product, an acquired taste for those who do want to sit in that stems ecosystem. So for more on the full review, you guys can head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS or click on the link at the top of this video description. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. We'd like to thank our friends over at KRK for sponsoring this YouTube channel. Be sure you guys go and check out our full video review of the KRK Rocket Series Professional Active Studio Monitors.
She like to fuck me, suck me, fuck me. I'm the ice cream man, she chunky monkey. She like to fuck me, suck me, fuck me. I'm the ice cream man, she chunky monkey. She like the twirly swirly in my vanilla coupe. She like my sugar cone seeds, I just took off the roof. She got a marshmallow booty, I like the sprinkler too. I'm the ice cream man, this my song when I'm riding through. She like to fuck me, suck me, fuck me. I'm the ice cream man, she chunky monkey. I'm the ice cream man, yeah, she chunky monkey. All these money hungry hippos wanna love me. All these diamonds dusty, mine just clear and sunny. I don't rock Giuseppe's, no them shits is ugly. I'm in the ghetto, the gutter, I got the sugar, the butter. I got the mama, the brother, oh yeah, your son is a hustler. She wanna fuck the suckers, but I ain't gon' rush her. I'm the ice cream man, yeah, I ball every summer. These boys wanna run it, that's cool cause I need more runners. Tell them give me more condoms, we doing more fucking. She like to fuck me, suck me, fuck me. I'm the ice cream man, she chunky monkey. She like to fuck me, suck me, fuck me.